Hello, and welcome to episode 8 of the Mosscast. Heavy old episode, the last one. Glad I did it. Very cathartic, and thanks to everyone for all your messages relating to things I was saying, or just saying, oh, never. There's mates of mine that listened to it and they were like, "Fucking hell, I didn't know you was going through that." Yeah, it was just good to show people that side of things, of what was going on. I mean, it did, fucking hell, man. For days after that, I was reeling off of recording that shit. I didn't think that it was going to drag up quite as many emotions as it did, but it did. Either way, I'm glad I did it. So I want to start this episode off with a story. I don't know why. There's not really any. There's no moral or not really any moral to this story, and it doesn't really have any relevance to anything else that I'm going to say in the podcast. But it's a funny story from days gone by. Yeah, I thought I might as well tell it on here and give some people some laughs. It's a story from back in my days as a adventurous single man. I was a wild man, and this story is called, let's call it, kicked out of the orgy. Kicked out of the orgy. So let's set the scene. This is a few years ago now. I'm with my mate. He's like, "Well, I heard there's an orgy going on in this place. Do you want to go?" And I've never been to an orgy or a fucking swingers fucking party, or even really done anything that sexually adventurous before at all. So, but I'm fucking game for trying. I'm game for trying stuff and throwing myself into some weird situations. So I was like, yeah, fuck it, go on then. Let's go. So me and my mate, we link up at the place for this orgy. We go upstairs and there's a bouncer there, and he goes, "Nah, sorry boys, you got to be. There's a dress code. You got to be wearing all black." And we was like, "All right." So we walk out, and right, maybe that's over. Like, what else should we do? And then we're like, "Nah, fuck it. Let's. I've got some black clothes at home. I'm sure you got some black clothes. Like, let's just go home, get some black clothes on, and then link up back down here." We do that. I go home, and I'm picking out some black clothes, and somebody I was living with lent me a leather jacket, black leather jacket. Never worn a leather jacket before or since. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really think it's my look. I felt like fucking John Travolta or something. I didn't. It definitely, putting a leather jacket on, you should try it at least once. Put a leather jacket on, see how you feel, because it's definitely a feeling. But it's just not a feeling I want common in my life. I felt a bit. But anyway, so I get this leather jacket, I'm dressed in black, and me and my mate link back up down at this place where this orgy is going to be. We walk up, and it's BYO, by the way. So grab a six pack of beers from the shop, and we go in there. And as soon as we get in there, you put your beers behind this desk. This woman takes the beers, and this place where this orgy was, I was actually checking it out a few weeks before to shoot a music video. There's a venue to shoot a music video, and it just turns out, and the woman who was showing me around the place was in there, sort of running this thing that I got told was an orgy. I didn't end up shooting the music video anyway, but I'd been there before and was like, all right, okay. So we put our beers behind this fucking desk and just start going for a stroll around this building, and it's all on one floor. There was maybe four rooms, and in one of them so we walk into this big room, and there's everyone standing around sort of the edges of the room, maybe like 50 people in there. There's everyone standing around the edges of this room. It's not an orgy at this point. I know it's not. We know it's not an orgy, but we're here. So there's everyone standing around the edges of this room, and then in the middle of the room, there's a guy in a cage, and he's getting spanked with like a lacy, like this lacy spanking tool. And yeah, I mean, there's and then in another room there was a guy in like those old school fucking medieval stockades, bent over. It was a lot of men getting whipped, and people standing around getting aroused by the men being whipped. And then we go into, then there's another room. Fuck, I can't put, my memory is a little bit hazy on what was going on in each room, but I remember there was it was more of an S&M sort of situation where people were just getting spanked and they were tied up or in a cage or whatever. And there was a lot of sort of groups of what seemed like to me like just very quite regular people, but everyone was dressed up in something, you know. It was like women, like 50-year-old women there in like lacy frocks and fucking, you know, there's like people wearing funky leather fucking, you know, like sort of YMCA. It was almost like the YMCA video in there, like a fucking casting for the fucking YMCA video in there. So yeah, we're walking around. Me and my mate, I think we started to get a little bit bored. We were like, oh, well, it's not an orgy, and there's just geezers getting spanked. And we sort of walked around and had a few sort of conversations with people. And I decided I wanted to spice things up a little bit. So I said to my mate, oh, no, okay. So there was something that made me want to spice things up a little bit. And there was a guy walking around with what is called, probably not it's not a flattering name for it, a micro penis, a chode. There was a guy walking around and he was naked, and he was the only guy in the party that was naked. And he was walking around, and I've seen a decent, I've seen enough dicks. Like, I've definitely seen enough dicks. I'm not like trying to amp up my dick viewage. But I've stood next to people in urinals, and you know, I've been in changing rooms, and you know, I've seen enough. I've seen maybe like, I don't know, if I had to estimate, maybe 35 dicks or something like that. And I've never seen one that was this small. And I mean, yeah, it was funny, all right. It was fucking funny. I didn't laugh out loud, but I was like, what? I mean, it was a bit more like, I don't know, it wasn't actually that funny, but it was definitely a spectacle. It wasn't like, I wasn't like, oh, I'm on the floor laughing at this small penis. Like, it was just like, whoa, like, fuck, they exist. You know, I thought it was almost like an urban legend. Like, I didn't even know if chodes really, I don't know. I was just like, I'd never seen one before, so it was a bit of a myth to me. And then I saw one, and I was like, holy shit, man! It really is like square. It was like a square inch of penis. It was like 3 balls, and he had a fair bit of shrubbery going on around. So I would have thought he would have pruned the shrubbery around his penis to sort of make it stand out a bit more. But the guy was incredible. Obviously, that's where he went to feel comfortable with his penis out. That's where that dude went, and fucking more power to him, if you ask me. More power to him for walking around the party with his penis out. It's a weird sentence, but I do believe that, you know, he probably hasn't felt great about his small penis in years, and if he can go there and get it out and sort of shake off a bit of shame and stuff and walk around the party and be proud of his penis, then fucking good on him. And it made me want to do the same. It did. It made me want to get my penis out. So I said to my mate, I said, should I fucking... So let me say, so I'm wearing this leather jacket, yeah? And I'm also wearing these low top brown Timberland boots, shoes, like, some of my favourite shoes. And so I'm wearing them, I'm wearing some black jeans, and I'm wearing this leather jacket and a black t-shirt. So I'm like, right, said to my mate, I was like, should I get my knob out and fucking have a little walk around the party? And he was like, yeah, go on then. So I was like, alright, I'm gonna go and do it. So I was like, I went to the toilet. It felt like a safe place. If I'm being honest, I knew that no one was gonna say a thing. It felt like a safe fucking environment to walk around with my penis out. So I was like, fuck it. I doubt I'm gonna be presented with this type of situation again. So I'm fucking seizing it. So I went to the toilet. I fucking took my jeans off, took my boxers off, and kept the boots on, and my t-shirt, and a leather jacket. And the leather jacket came down to just the top of my back, like just the bottom of my back. So, and I've got like a proper little 10-year-old white boy arse. Like I've got a small boy's bum, hairless. So I fucking walk out the toilet and go and see my mate, and I go and stand next to him. I didn't fucking look him. I didn't acknowledge that I had my penis out or anything like that. I just walked up, stood next to him, and was like, what's going on? And he just cannot. He is struggling to hold the laughter in. Struggling hard. His eyes are watering and going red, and his fucking mouth is cracking like. So I said to him, I'm gonna go for a stroll. So then I walked off in my little boots with a little strut on and my little bum poking out the bottom of this fucking leather jacket, and started walking around this party. And at not one point did I walk up to any group of people and look down and like point at my knob like, Like, I didn't want. I actually didn't want. It wasn't like a piss take thing. I didn't want people to. I wasn't like, "Wait, look at my knob, wait." It was like, I don't know. It was fucking odd. I still can't get my head around fully why I did it, but I did do it. And I was just like, sort of had my beer in my hand, and I was walking around. And I was just having regular conversations with people with my dick out, and yeah, it was a pretty good it was a pretty good time. And then I think I had it out for about half an hour, and then the woman who had shown me around the venue for the music video, who was behind the bar, actually said that she didn't like it, and that I was to leave the party, and she wanted me to hurry the fuck up and get out. It was said to me with haste. So I said, okay, all right. Well, I don't really know what I've done wrong, but right, I'm gonna go and get my clothes on and pick up my beers. So and she said the same to my friend as well. I think she thought we were taking a piss, but maybe it was because my mate was laughing. But I I wasn't taking the piss. I felt, I don't know, man. I knew I was never going to get a chance to walk around a room full of people, have my penis out, and have no one say anything about it. Like, if you do that at any other party, someone's going to be like, excuse me, mate, you've got your penis out. But at this place, it was like, oh, hello. So, and I wanted that. I don't know. I wanted that experience for some reason. So I fucking decided to do it. And we got kicked out. And I think we went on and kicked on and had a few drinks at other places and sort of got on with the evening. Yeah, and that's the story of getting kicked out of the orgy. What else has been going on this week? I feel like I want to do like some. There's things every week. I think about things that, not that I'm doing wrong, but I think about things like, I don't know, like I guess sort of self-improvement, or just places maybe where I'm letting myself down, or things I don't particularly like about my own behaviour. And one of the things I noticed is I finish people's sentences a lot. Like, if someone's not, I'm quite a speedy talker. So, I pause a lot in this, but there's not really any back and forth. This is a one-sided conversation. But I'm quite a speedy talker, and if someone's talking kind of slow and I can see the word that I think they're going to say, I'll jump on it and say it. I'm like, he's going to say this. And I fucking say it, and it's a bit of a lack of patience. Like, that's the thing. I think I'm not very patient in a lot of, not just in wanting to finish people's sentences, but in a lot of areas. And yeah, just something. I guess I don't know. I guess I'll just say it on here. It's like an accountability thing. It's something I'm gonna make an effort to stop doing is finishing people's sentences for them, because just let them have the realization and the thought on their own, and just fucking take a breath and just let them finish their fucking sentence, will you? Yeah, because it's kind of like interrupting. I don't like when people interrupt me, so it's like I'm kind of like interrupting people. Yeah, what else have I been thinking about this week? Positive mindset, negative mindset, and how if you can, something I'm trying to train myself to do is, when going through stressful situations, or I'm trying to think of an example. Say, all right, just this is maybe not the greatest example, but this is something something I can think of right now. Is, say you're late for work, and you've been late for work 3 times or 2 times this week already, and you're late for work, and you're fucking driving in the car and you go, fuck, I can't believe I'm fucking late again, what the fuck, fucking hell, fuck. That's that fucking fuck. You're working yourself up, you're not doing yourself any fucking good, getting all, and this, maybe you don't do this, but this is what I do, and I have done that before when being late for work. And if you in that sort of negative spot, you can go, alright, I am late for work. Alright, I'm probably going to get a bollocking, and I'm not going to be everyone's favourite person at work, maybe for a few days, or today, or whatever. But this is giving me the opportunity to pull my socks up and maybe fine-tune my work ethic a little bit, and this has given me the opportunity to sort my shit out, instead of being, oh fucking hell, this fucking job, and fucking, oh, I can't believe I'm fucking late, oh maybe it's because I fucking don't even want to fucking be here. If you can try and find, what I'm trying to say is, if you can try and find the positives while you're going through a negative experience, the negative shit during that experience will still be there. Like, just because you start thinking positively, like, oh, this is gonna give me a chance to pull my socks up, and you're still gonna get had a go at and stuff, but you're not adding to it. Like, you're not adding to your stress. All these other things out of your control, you know, the bollocking you're gonna get, all that, if that's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. And that can, you know, have its own effect. But if you can just think like, think positively, then you're not putting extra stress on yourself. Like, it's like trying to eliminate unnecessary turbulence, and it just makes stressful or negative situations a little bit easier to deal with if you can actually see the positives during rather than after, you know, because we can, a lot of us get it after, like, oh well, you know, that bad shit happened, but, you know, the old saying, but I am who I am now, and I am who I am now, so, you know, I wouldn't change a thing, and and it was actually a good thing that happened. But if you can see that during, like, it just reduces your stress so fucking much. And I'm trying to train my brain to do that. I'm trying to train my brain to do that. What have I been thinking about? Thinking about addictions. I'm always thinking about addictions, especially when I'm feeding into them. Like, I'm smoking cigarettes. You can probably hear in my voice. I'm smoking, still smoking cigarettes, and I actually been drinking a bit as well, which is not the end of the world. Look, I'm not fucking hitting the bottle at fucking 8 in the morning. I'm not like going out of control. Like, I'm having a couple of beers after work or something. I mean, last night I had about fucking 8 beers, like, which is more than I'd like to be having, but I did. And I was early on in the week. I was looking on the side, and there was an empty glass, and I'd had some fucking rum and orange juice or something in there. And there's an empty glass on the side, packet of cigarettes, and some cake. And I was looking at those things, and that scene from the fucking Matrix popped into my head. Scene from the Matrix popped into my head where Neo's in the car with Trinity. She's just picked him up just before he gets that bug sucked out of his stomach. And he goes to get out of the car. He's like, fuck this shit. He goes to get out of the car, and Trinity's like, whoa, Neo, what are you doing? Like, you've been down that road before. And he looks down this long, daunting road, and she goes, do you know where that ends up? And that to me, like, that scene it rung true to me when I was looking at the cigarettes, the booze, the cake. And I'm like, Jinz, like, you've been down this road before where I was looking at all of them individually. Honestly, I looked at the cake and I was like, I was having a down day, so I was looking at the cake. I was like, that's not gonna make you feel better. I was looking at cigarettes, they're not gonna make you feel better. You know, the booze, that's not gonna make you feel better. Like, you gotta fucking do some work on yourself. And for me, doing work on myself is kind of getting fully sober, hitting some runs, and letting all my emotions just hit me like a ton of bricks, and fucking just coping with that shit for a bit, and sort of dealing with whatever I'm not been dealing with by, like, sort of plugging up these holes with these things. And that scene from the Matrix where Trinity's like, you've been down that road before. It was just, I was looking at the fucking things, the cake and all that, just like, I've been down this road before of and it's not necessarily always been cigarettes, booze and I mean, cigarettes and booze have always been there, but cake, you know what I mean? It's like there's multiple things that I've used to plug up these fucking emotional fire hydrants that have been fucking that start popping. Yeah. I mean, The Matrix is such a good film. I watched that shit when I was 9 years old, and I got to watch it in the cinema because I was living in South Africa at the time with my mum and my brother, which is a whole nother story as to how I ended up living out there for a year. But I got to watch it in the cinema while I was out there, and it's one of the fucking, it's such an incredible film. So yeah, I mean that's my thoughts on that. Not going to be a long episode, this one. We've got one headline that I thought was pretty good. Again from the Independent, not really going anywhere else for the news. Pretty reliable source of news. The Independent always got something to laugh at. I looked at the royal family section. Nothing this week, unfortunately, to poke fun at with that. But we've got something else. So the headline is: single men with cats less likely to find love on dating apps. Study finds. So let's read a bit of the article. So it says here, women are less likely to swipe right on male dating app users if they're pictured holding a cat, new research has found. According to a study carried out by scientists, I mean, why the fuck did they need scientists? Why the fuck did they get I can't believe they put scientists in there at Colorado State University. Why the fuck have they got fucking scientists on that? I mean, a geezer holding a cat. I mean, single men with cats. It sort of rings bells of Crazy Cat Lady, doesn't it? And maybe the single guys with the cats are thinking it makes them look cute or like an animal lover, but this study by scientists has found not so much. Men who are pictured holding cats in dating app profile photos are perceived as being less masculine, higher in neuroticism, and less dateable. How did they find that? Let's read on. I haven't read this article. So more than 1,380 people were surveyed. That's already a pretty specific number, more than 1,380. Wouldn't they just say more than 1,000? Like how many? More than, was it 1,381? More than 1,380 people were surveyed for the study. Women aged 18 to 24 were shown photographs of the same man in his early 20s. In both photos, the man had dark hair, wore a blue shirt, and was photographed against a white background. The difference was that in one photo he was posing with a tabby cat, and in the other he was not. The women were then asked to rate the two men on various attributes, including perceived personality, masculinity, dateability, and whether they would consider going out with the person a short or long-term relationship. The study found that overall, when the man posed with the cat, he was perceived more negatively compared to when he posed without the cat. However, there were some positive traits, with the addition of the cat making the man seem more open and agreeable. Holding a cat also made the man seem more confident and outgoing compared to when he was pictured alone. The study found that the college-age women viewing the photo of a man alone versus the photo of the same man holding a cat rated the man holding the cat as less masculine. The study concludes, yes, it is important to note that these findings were influenced by whether the female viewer self-identified as a dog or cat person. Right. Suggesting that American culture has distinguished cat men as less masculine, perhaps creating a cultural preference for dog men. Among most heterosexual women in the studied age group. My reading is terrible, I apologise. These findings suggest that pets continue to play a role in a woman's mating choices and dating preferences, but a closer look at the effects of different species of pets is warranted. Right, yeah, so basically, I don't know, I mean, if you go on a dating app and you're thinking the cat, yeah, maybe it just makes you look like a bit of a pussy.
And that's about it for this week on the Mosscast. Slightly shorter episode, just keeping it breezy. I do have one pretty humongous announcement for me. I managed to get my shit together and create a merch store, a clothing store, a brand, and that's available now. So if you do want to support the Mosscast, if you like listening to this stuff, and obviously I'm doing all of this for free, I stick it up on YouTube. I don't expect no money for this, but if you do want to support what I'm doing, what you can do is go to truthclothing.com, which is spelled TROOFCLOVIN, so it's spelled all phonetically, truthclothing.com, and go and purchase a Mosscast hoodie or Wasteman hoodie or any of these t-shirts or hats or anything I've got in the store, and I'm going to be uploading new designs as time goes on. So yeah, if you want to support, go there, help a brother out, and yeah, buy yourself some of the best garments in the multiverse. The best. Alright, well, that's it for this week, and much love. Take care of yourselves. Blam.